What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GVP Daily, and thank you for tuning into the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over social media at GVP Daily, and if you are not already, what are you doing? Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is Wednesday, January 8th. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and talking some Packers with yours truly. Packers Eagles this weekend, the 3:30 slot on Sunday afternoon, which I personally love. We've got a full week to rest up compared to teams that don't. That'll be playing on Saturday. It's not the night game, which I am A-okay with. I'm an early riser. Got in a workout in early this morning already. Humble brag there. So whenever we have night games, makes for about a good 4 hours of sleep for your boys. So Jalen Hurts still in the concussion protocol. Something to kind of monitor. Starting to get a little bit interesting. I say that and then watch him come off of it today, and then it's not so interesting. But nonetheless, we're 4 days away from the game, and he is still yet to practice and hasn't played or practiced in about 3 to 4 weeks. So I know the Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni said yesterday he is not worried about rust with Jalen Hurts, which I would hope he's rusty for our sake. But he's been in the league for quite some time now, and he's played in a good amount of playoff games that I probably have to agree with him in the fact that he probably won't be too rusty. However, what will be interesting is if he plays, when he plays, I would assume he's playing, how will his concussion impact that? Will he not take off as a rusher as often? Will he avoid contact? All things to watch out for this week as we head into Sunday. The Packers will be hitting the practice field today, and unfortunately, there is a long list of things to look out for. A couple of those things being, is Jordan Love or Malik Willis limited, or will they be practicing in full? Jordan, as we know, went down with an elbow injury, and Malik hit his thumb when launching a deep ball on Sunday against the Bears. That is something to keep an eye on. Another thing here, will Quay Walker be practicing, having missed the last few weeks with an ankle injury himself? Having him out there, especially alongside Edgerrin Cooper, would be massive for Sunday. And will Evan Williams and Zane Anderson give it a go? Williams hasn't played or practiced since he suffered that quad injury a few weeks ago, and Zane Anderson went down with a concussion against the Vikings, and he hasn't done anything since then. So all super important pieces, mainly for the defensive side of the ball, that hopefully we'll get some positive updates on today as they hit the practice field on Wednesday. Without further ado, let's hop into the comment section here. And as always, the Nicolet Law hotline is now live. The moment you guys have all been waiting for. Of course, if you want to be a part of the show, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline. Number is on the screen, 319-242-2332. Taking your calls. I would love to hear from you. You got a Packers question, you got a Packers comment, you got a Packers complaint, give me a call and chat some Packers with yours truly. Armin, starting us off, how are you feeling for Sunday? Nervous, anxious? Armin, I'm feeling pretty good, actually. I'm sure that'll change the closer that we get to the actual game itself, but I don't know if it's because I'm the biggest homer that you'll ever meet, or that I'm super optimistic as a person in general. But I think we've got a pretty good shot to upset the Eagles this weekend. And Vegas thinks so too. We're only a 3.5 point, 4.5 point underdog, depending on where you look. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about the game this weekend. I honestly, I don't know if I'm going to say I'd prefer to play the Eagles compared to the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield tore us up, was that last year? And he's been pretty hot this year. not in MVP conversations, mainly because probably the Buccaneers overall are not as good as teams like the Ravens or the Bills. But he's been playing very well this year. And yeah, the Eagles, as we talked about, Jalen Hurts hasn't played for a few weeks due to his concussion. The Eagles rested their players this last weekend. I'm hoping for a little bit of rust. And yeah, get a little vengeance for that week 1 game that we should have won. Still mad about that. But Armin, I'm feeling pretty good. Now, you might want to ask me that on Saturday's show, excuse me, or Sunday's show before the game. I might be a little more nervous, more so probably anxious. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Lynn in the chat, love for our Packers always. Absolutely. Good to see you, Lynn. Thanks for hopping on. Marcus, getting Quay back would be massive. I think, Marcus, I completely agree. I think he's the most important piece to get back on the defensive side of the ball. Having him and Edgerrin Cooper out there together to chase down Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts would be huge. Evan Williams is a close second, though. Javon Bullard coming off a few rough games over the last couple of weeks since he returned from his ankle injury. I'm hoping it was mainly due to, getting back into gear from that injury. And, yeah, because we're going to need him to play better moving forward, and I think he will. So, Marcus, thank you for hopping on. My man Dave's in the house. Hello from San Diego. Good to see you, Dave. Thank you for chiming in. Happy. Let's go to the fact of the day, shall we? It is a good one.
It's time for your Green Bay Packers fact of the day. Brought to you by TickPick. TickPick guarantees to have the lowest prices on Packers tickets. If you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, TickPick will give you 110% of your money back. If you want $20 off your next ticket order, use code PACKERS20 at checkout. That's PACKERS20. This promo code can only be used in the app, so make sure to download the TickPick app today.
All right, your fact of the day. Per the Elias Sports Bureau, the Packers are the second youngest team to make the playoffs over the last 45 seasons, behind only, wait for it, last year's Packers team. Crazy to think. Last year we knew they were the youngest team in NFL history. That was a pretty common topic throughout the year. Kind of a crutch, if you will, for their early struggles. And then pointing piece while they were just kind of playing carefree and went on a run to end the year. And yeah, now this year, they're the second youngest team behind our team last year. So you got to keep that in mind with these frustrating moments or plays or situations that we find ourselves in more often than not, at least throughout the season so far. The second youngest team ever since they started tracking that kind of stuff in detail. So let's play some looser football, shall we? We've got nothing to lose, right? Besides a playoff game, and then we're heading home. So big shout out to the Packers, two youngest teams ever making it to the playoffs in both years. And shout out to TickPick for partnering up with myself. I used TickPick back in October for the Packers-Cardinals game that we were at. I used TickPick for the Packers Thanksgiving game against the Dolphins. And when they make it to the NFC Championship game, I will be using TickPick again. They guarantee the lowest and cheapest Packers tickets on the market. They put their money where their mouth is. If you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will give you 110% of your money back. Use the code PACKERS30 for $30 off of your ticket order. What else we got going on here? Bryce, if we advance, are you going to try and make it to Detroit? I would absolutely love to, Bryce, but I don't think so. If we were to advance, I am going to hold out for the NFC Championship game, wherever that may be. Could be in Minnesota, which would be great for me, only a few hours away. Could be Tampa Bay. Could be Los Angeles. It could be the Commanders. So if that's the case, I won't have any regrets in doing so, because if they make it to the NFC title game, boom, I'll get my things in order and try and go. And if they don't make it and lose to the Lions, well, then thankfully I didn't spend all the time and resources in going to an away playoff game that they ultimately ended up losing. So at least that's how I look at it. Would love to see a game in maybe Tampa, NFC title game. That would be a fun place to go to right now. A little chilly here. And yeah, it would be a nice excuse to get down to Florida, right? But we'll see, right? One game at a time. But I would love to go to a playoff game. I've never been to a playoff game before, ever. Packers or any other team. Been to, 30 or 40 Packers games, all at Lambeau probably. But yeah, would love to go to the NFC title game. I will hold out if they do advance. But thank you, Bryce, for hopping in the chat. Appreciate you as always. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today as far as the show goes. But as you know, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything Packers related all day long. So be sure to follow me at GBP Daily on every social platform. If you are not already, it would mean a ton if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel at GBP Daily as well. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you all then. And until then, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.